people who take anxiety drugs. I'm like, how else are you supposed to know where you need to look in order to fix your life? It is literally the job of anxiety to do that. If I have anxiety, it's for a couple of reasons. One is because I don't know what I need to do. And that's usually the first week of school. I haven't read the syllabuses. I have a bunch of anxiety. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. And it feels like everything's crumbling on top of me. And then what do? I look at where the anxiety is. It's based around school. So then I do the work and it goes away. If I get an email from like my boss and I have anxiety because I think it has bad news, you know what I don't do? I don't avoid the email. I force myself to open it and read the damn thing because that's the only way I'm going to make the anxiety go away. Yeah, it might be bad news, but at least I know that's bad news and I can now plan. But beforehand, it was the unknown of it that was causing the anxiety. I've had one panic attack in my whole life. And that was 7th grade. I was going to give a presentation. I stood up and the whole world just started spinning. My adrenaline shot up through the roof. It was insane. And I just couldn't give the presentation. I was like, whoa, that was intense. And I was thinking about like that. I actually enjoyed it. Like, you're like, oh, that's not a panic attack then. You can't enjoy the panic attacks. I'm like, I don't know, man. I like ripping insane amounts of nicotine on a bong. At least I did when I was addicted to it. But kind of a similar feeling of being just absolutely gone and at the whim of like what's going on in your head, and you have like no control of the situation. It's kind of this surrendering to the control and fight or flight that comes surging in all at once. And I just enjoyed it. And ever since then, I mean, I've tried to give it to myself through jumping off high heights, skydiving, and other means, but I haven't managed to really get that same feeling. And I think it's because I embraced it. And I'm like, yes, I want more of that. And then my body's like, okay, well, that obviously didn't do what we wanted it to do. Let's try something else in the future. There are people out there with crippling anxiety, but the world isn't going to cater to you. What you need to do is you need to start going to a jiu-jitsu club, start lifting, start eating healthy, hiking outside, and get yourself a concealed carry permit. Those are all great things to do if you have anxiety about the world. Because not only will you be able to protect yourself from anyone, any size, with a gun, but you'll also be able to fight them after a couple years, but that's what the gun's for, using jiu-jitsu. And you could also just get a giant German Shepherd and put that on a leash. So, German Shepherd versus anxiety medication. I think the German Shepherd is going to be a lot more fun and have a lot less side effects versus taking some medicine your doctor recommends to block out natural processes. If you were meant to not have anxiety, you wouldn't have anxiety. It's just such a silly thing.